Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Snap Keep. Today we are reviewing the Avatar: The Last Airbender set for Magic: The Gathering, and we are ambassadors this time around.
We sure are.
So a big thank you to our Wizards of the Coast for sending us some free product, getting us early access. That is really awesome. We're going to be talking about our favorite cards. First, I'm sitting down with Jake, but then Alex and Ryan are going to be showing their mugs here too. And we're just going to talk about some of our favorite cards. There's a lot of product here, right? There's the standard legal set, there's the jumpstart packs, there's the beginner box, the commander bundle, tons of stuff to talk about, and tons of really flavorful and cool cards. So we're going to jump into it.
That's true.
Jake, why don't you take us off? What is one of the cards that you are excited for Atla?
So one of the cards I'm excited for is, well, the main character's got a lot of cards. Aang,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
But I really like the one at the start of the journey. So the one I'd like to talk about first is Aang Airbending Master.
Interesting.
So this is a 5-mana legendary creature, human avatar ally. When Aang enters, airbend another target creature. Whenever one or more creatures you control leave the battlefield without dying, you get an experience counter. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 white ally creature token for each experience counter you have.
Interesting. And when you airbend something, you exile it, and then the owner can cast it?
Yeah, for 2 mana.
Rather than its...
2 generic. So the thing I like about this card is it is one of the only airbending cards that can target something you don't own.
Yes, you can use it offensively.
Yeah. And I just think it's a really neat way to kind of show his experience throughout the show, and like gaining allies is something that he definitely does. And you know, 5 mana might be a little bit steep, but as the leader of a deck, he's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, I mean, experience counters are one of those mechanics that like just keep growing and growing.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
As you go on. So like if you were in an Abzan deck, right, and you had Marin of Clan Neltoth, that cares about dying, Aang cares about leaving.
Oh yeah.
They kind of start to synergize.
Yep.
Which I do like about experience counters, and then you can be a little cheeky with proliferate.
It's true.
And honestly, making a bunch of creatures on your upkeep, pretty good.
It's pretty good, yeah. They can be blockers, or, you know, Mono White has a ton of token support, so you can do that. But the thing I really like about this is Aang can benefit off of the other members of Team Avatar's experience counters.
Ah, right. Yes,
yeah, so I like...
cycle.
They are a cycle. I like him in a multicolored deck a lot more than I like him as a commander, but... no, I think it's really cool that they're printing experience counters again, and this one seems a little bit more tame.
Yeah.
Tame, yeah.
Yeah.
But, no, I like him. And it's a good start for Team Avatar.
Yeah.
Is there anything you're excited by?
Yeah, one of the cards, I actually play it in one of our gameplays that's going to be coming out, is Hei Bai, the Forest Guardian. He's a Shrines payoff, but he's a little bit more than that. So let's see if you can catch on. So Hei Bai is 3 and a green. He's a 4/4 bear spirit.
2 bears stapled together.
Exactly. And when he enters, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a shrine card. You may put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle, and then we got our Wooburg activation cost and tap. For each legendary enchantment you control, create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token with this token cannot be blocked except by, but can't be blocked by non-spirit creatures. So he pulls in a little bit of a couple different directions, right? So obviously he flips till you see a shrine. So you could do critical mass of shrines, and that's kind of the way I went, because obviously all of those are legendary enchantments. And there's some really good ones, especially the new cycle in this set, right? They are all about ETBs, and you always get the shrine value.
Avatar's got 5, right?
Yes.
1 for each?
Yeah, 1 for each color. The Spirit Oasis in particular is pretty good.
Very good.
Because you get to draw for every shrine you already have, and future shrines coming out. So you could build him with some blink shenanigans, but something else that you want to keep in mind is that his activated ability is only off of legendary enchantments.
Yes.
So while those include shrines, they're not limited to shrines. So the Theros gods are particularly ripe for this space.
So true.
So Thassa Deep Dwelling is one of my favorite cards in this list that I brewed, which is 3 and a blue for a legendary enchantment creature, and she basically blinks anything you want, or any creature you want at the end step. So if you know you're not going to be activating Hei Bai, you can blink him, get more shrines for that activation to go crazy later.
Oh, absolutely.
And then it's just like enchantment payoffs, right? You got your Eidolon of Blossoms, right?
Wow.
Every time something comes into battlefield, you draw a card.
5-color Enchantress, crazy.
Yeah, it's good. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
But there's some other interesting ways to pay off, right? Obviously, you got your Beastmaster's Ascension for the win, right? Because they're unblockable spirits.
Yeah, they might as well read unblockable.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You're not facing many. Maybe in the limited environment, you might see some spirits.
Yeah, but at the commander table, ooh.
Less so.
Yeah.
Perfro, Scout of the Forge, also a legendary enchantment.
Oh, crazy.
Great with making a bunch of tokens. It definitely encourages you to go wide, and it's a definitely unique take on the Enchantress theme, if you ask me.
Oh, 100% agree.
And then there's also just a bunch of random legendary enchantment cycles, right? So there's the backgrounds from
Oh, that's really cool.
Baldur's Gate,
Yeah.
right? Which
You can
are
multi-class.
pretty nice. Like Far Traveler's an interesting one.
Sure.
Because if you activate Hei Bai for Wooburg, then he's tapped.
Sure.
And then you can flicker him at the end step. So he kind of does that Thassa Deep Dwelling thing, but it feels a little bit win more because you have to like tap him.
Yeah, you have to already be tapping Hei Bai. Yeah.
And one of his strengths is that you can do that at instant speed. So holding up your mana is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then there's like the Oath of the Gatewatch people,
right.
the Planeswalkers that just have an enchantment. So if you do have a Planeswalker sub-theme, there you go. But yeah, he's just a lot of fun. If you want something a little bit different from Go Shintai, which is admittedly a pretty strong Shrines commander.
I think I like Hei Bai more.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
I think he definitely is more interesting, if you ask me.
Much prettier card, too.
Yes. Love Hei Bai.
Oh, love Hei Bai.
And the Flicker package is always great with him.
For sure.
All right, Jake, what else you got for me?
Oh, boy. Well, you know, I've already talked about Aang. And if Aang is somewhere, it can only be assured that Appa is somewhere close. So the next card I'm going to talk about is Appa, Steadfast Guardian. So I actually play an Appa deck in one of our gameplays because I think Appa is really cool. One of my favorite characters, actually. So this card has been spoiled for a while. It was one of the first batch that we got when Atla was announced. So I've been, you know, brewing with him for a bit.
Thinking about him.
Appa is so interesting. I think he is by far the best airbending card in the set. Monkiatsu is really close, but I think Appa's right there. And the thing I like about him is that Appa is doing a very good Yorion impression.
Oh, okay.
So when I was building the deck, I approached Appa as though it were Yorion, where, you know, I blink one thing, my target, Appa, and then I get my effect on every creature on my board. The downside, still got to pay the 2 mana. Because what he does is when he enters, he's got Flash and Flying. When he enters, you can airbend any number of non-land permanents you control. And then whenever you cast from exile, you get a 1/1 white ally creature token.
Gotcha. So your whole board can go whoop.
Including non-creature things.
Interesting.
So while I was building, I did consider like Mycosynth Wellspring
Right.
and Ichor Wellspring and things of that nature.
Get that value.
Because they only trigger when they go to the graveyard, I didn't end up including them. But it's really cool that Appa can blink things like Sagas or Archaeomancer's Map was also on the sideboard. I think being able to blink your non-land permanents, pretty dope.
Yeah.
He also is like begging to go infinite with Ashnod's Altar. Like he's just asking for it a little bit too hard.
Yeah.
Because the ally that you create when you cast something from exile, you can sacrifice to the altar to pay the airbending cost on anything that is still in exile.
Interesting. Which you can't do with Yorion.
Correct.
Yeah, you would need a different loop.
Yeah, and the other cool thing that you can do with Appa is if you airbend a bunch of white creatures, if you have Pearl Medallions or Oketra's Monument or the Wind Crystal that reduce the cost of your white spells, now your airbending costs 1 mana.
Oh, interesting. Can you reduce it to 0? With
I
some of
believe you
those
can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
Okay,
would
that's
have to have both of them in play, but yeah, you can get Appa to do the best Yorion impression. You just need like 5 cards.
Yeah.
Lacking blue is a little crazy. But.
Now, let's say you're not doing an Appa deck. Would you include him in the 99 as like a clever concealment type effect where you're like, okay, there's going to be a board wipe, let me...
Yeah.
4 mana's tough though.
I would, but it's conditional. I think the deck has to care about either casting from exile or ETBs.
Gotcha.
Because I think you want to be able to take advantage of the fact that you get to cast again. So you can get the cast triggers for your elemental bonds or whatever. And then if you have any exile synergies, Don't know where we'd find those. Then the 1/1s are just gravy on top. I don't think that it's like a great role filler. 4 mana is a lot, but the flash helps a ton.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a very good home in exile matters, like Gwen Stacy
100%.
or, you know, Zuko, which we'll be talking about a little bit later.
True. Yeah. Zuko and Appa, best of friends.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I also don't know about that one.
Okay, sounds good. I'll go to my next card, which is going to be one of the most excitement from the community, which is Toph, the first Metalbender.
Yeah.
She is really awesome.
She sure is.
So she's 1 red, green, white for a 3/3 human warrior ally. Non-token artifacts you control are lands in addition to their other types, but they don't get the tap ability for mana.
Seems crazy.
At the beginning of your end step, Earthbend 2. So this is a new keyword. Target land you control becomes a 0/0 with haste. That's still a land. You put 2 counters on it. That's the number. When it dies or is exiled, return it to the battlefield tapped. So your lands are protected.
Yeah.
Which means if you Earthbend your artifacts are
Also
protected.
come back.
So there's some crazy stuff you can do.
This
with
doesn't seem breakable at all.
So breakable. So one of the things that comes to mind if you are particularly dastardly is Mindslaver. So if you want to
Lead with the
Mindslaver
heat.
someone, yeah, if you Earthbend your Mindslaver, then when you activate it and it exiles itself, it does come back, which is just crazy.
That's insane.
And you can take advantage of things like the Stasis Coffin in a similar way that gives you protection from everything for 2 and a tap. Normally exiles itself. You can abuse these safety rails, right, that they put on these cards.
Oh boy.
And when you think about it, right, there are tons and tons of cards that really go crazy. Like
Yeah, the more I think about it, the worse it gets.
it just keeps getting worse. Glacial Chasm is one that I think about.
Stop.
If you
Stop thinking about it.
you get around the cumulative upkeep. This is pretty much with any Earthbending.
Earthbending, yeah.
Repeatably commander that you may come across. But once you fill your board with things like Ichor Wellspring that get continued advantage from you sacking them and bringing them back as Earthbending things, then you can use things like Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth to give all of those artifacts a mana ability. Because since they are considered lands, they gain the land ability.
Oh, that's
so they are
weird.
now, forests and
I don't like that.
That
Layers,
just-
how do they work?
And then you can, what I think you would really want to do with this deck is get a critical mass of non-token artifacts.
Sure.
Not airbend, Earthbend as much as you can with cards like Toph by like copying her ability with like Peter Parker's camera.
Sure.
Or other type of effects.
Or other Tophs.
Yeah, there's a lot of juicy Tophs. We're going to talk about one. And then there's just other cards in the set that Earthbend pretty easily. Avatar Kyoshi, Earthbender, does it every turn. She's pretty expensive, but you'll get there.
You're in green.
And then you're talking about the Hardheaded Teacher?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. There's also Toph Greatest Earthbender.
Yep.
Earthbend every turn.
She's great.
Toph Earthbending Master.
Experience
Lots of
counters,
Tophs.
right?
Yeah. More experience counters.
Yeah. But that's landfall experience counters. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, so you build up your Earthbending engine, then you sacrifice everything with like Escape Shift.
Oh.
And then you go for the wind with Tanook, Memorial Ensign, in like effects that are landfall. Your artifacts are landfall is
Sounds
insane.
incredibly powerful.
Yes. I definitely think it would be hard to build anything less than a bracket 3 deck with Toph. Even if it is it does have the potential to just churn your wheels. I think the churning will be powerful.
Yeah, the churning involves drawing cards and making mana out of nothing, so must be good.
And you can take advantage of things like Haywire Might, right, where you get repeatable interaction. But I think one of the most dastardly is cards like Hour of Revelation. So it costs 3 less to cast if there are 10 or more non-land permanents, which there will be. And then you destroy all non-land permanents. So your lands and your artifacts will be safe because they are considered lands. And everyone else's anything will be gone. And you could do things like turn
disgusting.
Toph into an artifact, right? So to protect her too.
Yeah.
But now we're getting
Liquid metal
into a
torch and
little
stuff like that. Yeah.
craziness. So I don't know. Toph's crazy. You know she's crazy. Go build her. She looks like a lot of fun.
She sure does.
I'm going to be building her for our last gameplay of the Commander series. So check that out in a couple weeks, and we'll have some fun.
Yeah, but speaking of Tophs, we're going to stay on this character, and I'm going to talk about Toph, Hardheaded Teacher. So this is Toph at the beginning of their journey. For 2 red and green, we get a legendary creature, human warrior ally. Type line doesn't change. When Toph enters, you may discard a card. If you do, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. And then whenever you cast a spell, Earthbend 1. If that spell is a lesson, put an additional +1/+1 counter on that land.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're gonna stay on topic.
Yes.
Yeah, we're staying on topic. Ugh. That feels wrong to come out of my mouth, honestly.
Okay, so Toph, Hardheaded Teacher is kind of an interesting card.
It really is, yeah. Cards that say whenever X do Y.
Yeah.
It's just like, there's something to do here. I like this. Whenever you cast a spell, Earthbend 1 is interesting.
I think that by itself is good enough for a commander.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's whenever take a game action, put a +1/+1 counter on a land you control. Is great. Great hardened scales commander, great like landfall commander if you want to get a Zern orb.
Yeah.
Seems pretty great.
Yes.
But also I like Toph or this version of Toph specifically because they hit the ground running with the looting, and they just want you to cast spells. Most of the Earthbending cards like Earthbend once or on the end step. And this one will like let Earthbending be the entire thing that your deck does.
Yeah.
So with this, I love cards like the Azula. If you're going to be sacrificing those lands, you might want to put them on something else. But also just things that are like incremental counter generators. So your branching evolutions, your hardened skills, your what is it, Innkeeper's Talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of those are going to just amplify what Toph is already doing for your deck. And the thing it's doing is putting a lot of bodies on the battlefield.
Yeah.
It goes great with Boomy Unleashed in the 99 to get extra combats out of your lands. And, you know, there are even a couple lessons that care about lands.
So you can squeeze some in.
You can get incidental lesson value, because I don't think this is a lesson deck.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that could be a very easy trap to fall into.
Yeah, 100%.
If that's one of those things, like, if they print some more.
You run like Shared Roots.
Yeah.
And the Hero one, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, I imagine a deck that has Toph or is centered around Toph would be like ramp with your instant and sorceries, and then just have a wide board.
Well, especially on 2, right? Because, you know, you on 2 cast your 3 visits, your Nature's Lore, your whatever. You know, on turn 3 cast Toph, loot, get it back.
Yeah.
Cast it next turn. Like, the value is right there.
Yeah, that's
Toph
cool.
is just phenomenal.
Yeah. And I mean, I already mentioned it, but like Scapeshift with Earthbending is insane, right?
Oh, yeah.
You sack all your lands, you get them back, and you get more lands. Like,
Scapeshift, cast Toph, get it back, do it again.
gnarly.
This commander is crazy, but also just a super fun design.
Yeah, I think she's going to be less than the Metalbending one, but I think, and I think people are going to overlook her for that reason. But she is landfall, but in a quirky way.
Yeah, in a quirky, Gruul kind of way.
Yeah.
So another card I'm really excited about is a black board wipe.
Nice.
Everybody's favorite.
I do love a black board wipe.
So I'm going to talk about Day of Black Sun, the darkest day in Fire Nation history. For X black, you get a sorcery that says each creature with mana value X or less loses all abilities until end of turn. Destroy those creatures. I'm sick and tired of Indestructible, Ward, anything that might stop me from doing the thing I want to do. Lose everything I care about. Be gone.
Get out of here.
It's phenomenal. It's just honestly another X black board wipe. I think it's really good. I think that black has had this problem where it's like if you go above 4, board wipes start costing 8 or 9 mana. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So just having another one to kind of round out, you know, Damnation Plus, I think is really nice. I also think that in 2025 we need lines of text like lose all abilities. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely making the case for like Indestructible is really good. Get
Way
a lot
worse.
worse. And it's so thematic. I mean, the Firebenders lose their
100%.
firebending power.
Yeah, it's so cool.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what is it, Black Sun Zenith?
Yeah, a little bit.
Minus,
Put
X.
X -1/-1 counters on everything.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Like that gets around the indestructible and stuff like that, but it's very similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
It's not splashy. It's not gonna, make anybody's day when you open it in a booster pack, but I think it's neat.
Yeah, it's a cute little card.
Yeah.
Cool. What else you got for me?
Oh boy, another card that I'm personally super excited about, and I think I'll be building it for our final Bracket 3
feature?
game. Yeah, our final gameplay feature is Wan Shi Tong, All Knowing.
Interesting.
So this card is 5 mana for a legendary creature, bird spirit, 4/4, flying. It's an owl, obviously. Yeah. When Wan Shi Tong enters, target online permanent's owner puts it into their library, second from the top or on the bottom.
Oh.
You get to choose. Whenever one or more cards are put into a library from anywhere, create 2 1/1 colorless spirit creature tokens with this token can't block or be blocked by non-spirit creatures.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this is a Tuck commander.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it cares about library manipulation. I just think it's super cute that Scroll Rack triggers this.
Oh, okay. So you make a bunch of little 1/1 spirits while getting the value?
Well, you just do it once.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's 1 or more. So I'm going to be running it with like Scroll Rack. I think it's really cute with Sensei's Divining Top. Also, I think there might be like a small flicker package because Tuck is not a very widely supported thing. So Wan Shi Tong might be one of the best Tuckers in the entire game.
Luckily, blue is good at flicker.
It's true. Blue, very good at flicker. Displacer Kitten exists. Yeah. No, but I think he's really neat. I don't think that blue has really experimented with the ways that it can uniquely interact with the board or the stack, right? Cards like Hinder, where you counter target spell and it goes on top or on bottom of the opponent's library, is a real detriment in 60-card formats where your draw for turn is probably the only one you get if you're doing poorly. And I think it still feels just as bad in Commander. So I'll be interested to see how much the library disruption and drawing the same card over and over again
Yeah,
will
this
affect
is
boards.
pretty. I overlooked Wan Shi Tong as a commander, but I think it's actually a really strong mono blue commander.
Me too.
It's removal. It encourages you to keep doing removal type things.
Oh, yeah,
it makes
100%.
2 basically unblockable creatures.
And you know what? The win condition for the deck is Candlekeep Inspiration.
What does
Because
that do?
so Candlekeep Inspiration, 5 mana for a sorcery that says until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness XX, where X is the number of cards you own in exile and in your graveyard that are instants or sorceries or have adventure.
Oh, okay.
So all of your unblockable spirits become 10/10s or something.
Get bigger.
Yeah, they're huge.
And what I like about this too is blue is known for its Biden of Thassa, coastal piracy type effects. So you're drawn to
And in the show, so is Wan Shi Tong. He sends out his spirits to hit people and bring back knowledge.
Yes.
It is such
It's
a cohesive design, and I'm just, the more I looked at it, the more
That's
I'm like,
pretty cool.
I have to build him.
Yeah.
He's super cool.
He's a cool character too.
Yeah, he's a really cool
He's
character.
spooky. Okay, perfect. Okay, let me hit you with my next card, which is going to be the Blue Spirit. So we've gotten a couple of these flash enablers in the past, like I'm thinking about the High Fae Trickster, which gives your spells flash for 4 mana.
Where the
But they printed a new one in Avatar. So the Blue Spirit is 3 in a blue. He's a 2/4 human rogue ally. You may cast the first creature spell you cast each turn as though it had flash. Whenever a non-token creature you control enters during combat, draw a card.
Oh,
So High Face Trickster is better.
true.
However, this has some interesting utility, right? So if you flash
does.
in a blocker, then you draw a card. If you ninjutsu a creature, you draw a card.
That's pretty good.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool that he has synergy with ninjas, even though he himself is not.
Yeah.
And sure, you only get 1 each turn, but there's 4 combats.
Exactly.
People gotta go
Yeah.
to combat. So if you really want to cast 4 creatures in a turn, you could do that. Once on yours, once on your opponent's. Keep going.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's not a whole lot to say here. I just love that he does ninjutsu stuff because it's when it enters, you draw a card.
Yeah.
So I think he's a good... I don't think he will be as expensive as High Fate Trickster or those kind of effects. He's a creature. You probably care about creatures if you're running him.
Yeah.
And he's a rogue, so if you have those rogue synergies, then...
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is that he has better typing than High Fate Trickster does, because High Fate Trickster is, I think, Fairy Wizard. Not great for your rogue decks.
Yes.
Notably, it is only the first creature spell, so, you know, if you get interacted with and you have sorcery speed creature interaction in your hand, not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But he's a really cool card, and I like this design. I like the idea of waiting on somebody's turn to cast Spectral Sailor and getting to draw a card. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Like, why not?
Yeah, I just love flashing in blockers. It's just a fun... Ryan does it with his flash and flying deck all the time.
It's really
and
dope.
I'm jealous all the time. So
Yeah.
I just love that ability.
Yeah, no, and he's I think it's pretty resonant with what happens in the show too.
Exactly.
What a cool design.
I do wish he had flash. That would have been nice.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why he doesn't, but
Too powerful.
yeah, probably would have been too powerful for the Jumpstart set.
Cool. What else you got for me?
So after that, I'm gonna go deep into the black cards I love, and I'm gonna talk about a twofer here, a juicy twofer. Talk about Ko, the Face Stealer, and
cool.
Joo Dee, one of many, because I think they probably go in the same deck.
Makes sense.
So we're gonna talk about Ko first, because he's, I think, a little bit more interesting of the two. Ko is 6 mana, so 4 black for a 6/6 legendary shapeshifter spirit. Can block the spirit token.
True.
When Ko enters, exile up to 1 other target creature, doesn't have to be your own. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may exile it. Pay 1 life, : choose a creature card exiled with Ko. Ko has all activated and triggered abilities of the last chosen card.
Very cool.
Yeah, so, like, emblematic of what he does, too. Oh, so cool.
You get a collection of creatures exiled, and you can switch the abilities. That's
Instant
so cool.
speed, too. Yeah. It's, really neat. I think this card is just an interesting design space. I tried to brew it. I don't know what to do with it, for the most part.
It seems like it'd be a little tough to play against, right?
Yeah.
'Cause there's probably a lot of, like, flashback effects. I don't know.
The problem I ran into is that if it's your commander,
Yeah.
right, you're mono black, which means that if you want to be stealing your own abilities, you have to use black's activated or triggered abilities.
Okay, makes sense.
Which typically involves sacrifice. This commander
that
does
seems
not
good.
scream, like, go wide to me. So it's kind of just like 6 mana. Here's my Yawgmoth impression is like the height of that deck, I think.
Okay, makes sense.
The other thing that you can do, which is I think a little bit more interesting, is try to steal people's stuff.
Okay.
So you exile your opponent's things, and if they have activated or triggered abilities, then it's kind of juicy.
Yeah.
But
that's
I
extra
think
tricky.
for the most part, Ko is a really tough build, but maybe really cool in those Gonti or Black Cat style of decks, where you can grab the additional pieces you need to find, like, the synergy in your opponent's cards.
Yeah, I like that build.
But the reason I wanted Ko in the zone is because the other card that I was very excited about, not legendary, is Joo Dee, one of many. For 1 and a black, you get a 2/2 creature human advisor with this funky ability. Black and tap, : surveil 1. Create a token that is a copy of this creature, then sacrifice an artifact or creature. Activate only as a sorcery. So you make a copy of Joo Dee, but you have to sacrifice something to get it.
Yeah.
Ideally,
Which could be the original.
the original,
Yeah.
yeah. But, you know, if you want to start making your own army of Joo Dees, then maybe you need some treasures or some clues or any of the other things that Black is really good at spitting out now.
Yeah, sacking a artifact is not a crazy big cost, and neither is a creature. It's
No, it's really
you can
not.
make tokens. You can make
Yep. So I think that this is just a really funky design. I love things that make clones of themselves. I think Mechanized Production is a really cool card.
Yeah.
The card I'm going to talk about next actually does the exact same thing. Didn't even think about that. But just like create a token that's a copy of this creature. Like it goes crazy with mutate because it'll keep the characteristics of the mutated creature. And it's just, if you can make additional tokens, I want to do that.
Wow, yeah.
It's a cool card.
I feel like this card is one of those like flavor cards that you're like, man, like this could only have been this character.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
You could see how they got to this effect, which is so cool, and it's one of the side effects, whether you like them or not, of Universes Beyond.
For sure.
And I think this is one of the places where UB shines.
100%.
I think it's really cool.
Because I also think that the Ba Sing Se arc in book 2 is phenomenal.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I think Long Feng is super cool.
Yeah.
And
There is no war in Ba Sing
No,
Se.
absolutely not. And the like turmoil that Team Avatar puts their Joo Dee through is just like she's sweating the entire show. It's like, oh, please stop. I'm gonna go back to Lake Lao guy.
Yes.
No, I just think it's really cool. I'd love to see more funky activations like this, and I really wanted to mirror box a Ko with this ability.
Oh
That'd
my
be
gosh.
really gross.
That's devious.
That'd be really
Also
fun.
a nightmare to track.
Oh yeah, 100%, because then each of your Kos would have its different pile. Awful.
This is Ko 1, this is Ko 2.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
You want to hear about the last thing
one
I'm
more
excited
card?
about? Yeah. So we're making clones again. The last card I'm going to talk about is Phoenix Fleet Airship.
Vehicle.
Yeah, or a vehicle. It's 2 black for a 4/4 vehicle with flying. It flies. At the beginning of your end step, if you sacrificed a permanent this turn, create a token that's a copy of this vehicle. As long as you control 8 or more permanents named Phoenix Fleet Airship, this vehicle is an artifact creature. Crew 1.
You do like mechanized production.
I sure do. No, I think that this is, again, a very neat design. In black, sacrificing permanent, not very hard to do.
Yep.
It can also feed your sacrifice fodder. Like if I was building that Joo Dee deck, or a deck around the Joo Dee effect, I would run this too. Because you can sacrifice this artifact to her effect.
Right.
But then, if you just let it go over the game and it is unanswered, eventually you just have, 8 4/4s that fly?
Yeah.
If you get there, you're living the dream.
Yeah.
That's super sick.
Because at that point, you don't have to crew them anymore.
True,
It's just
yeah.
like...
And I think the dream for this is you are in a deck that makes 1/1 tokens that you can sacrifice. So you use the token to crew it, sacrifice the token, and then at your end step, you just keep proliferating. The other thing is that I think people are not realizing that this is exponential. Because that is going to exist on each copy of Phoenix Fleet Airship.
That is definitely something I overlooked. I was
Yeah.
like, man, that's going to take forever.
So you do it once, you've got 2 airships. You get to
you
your
get
next end
4.
step, you have 4 airships. So it only takes 3 turns, if unanswered, to get to that point where you just have an army of 4/4 flyers.
Yeah. And
Obviously,
that's just
3 turns is a very long time.
sack of treasure to get there. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. You need to take basic game action in black to trigger this thing.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one I was like, at first, but hearing you talk about it with the exponential thing in mind, like after the 8, that's just, it's insane.
Oh, also, I don't know why Wizards decided that Zeppelins are centered in black, but this is the second set where Zeppelins are the black mechanic.
They got something about Zeppelins.
Yeah, like in the most recent Jumpstart that's not Atla, I think we got Lita, who was like mono white Zeppelins. Cool. But then we got, the gambling guy from Final Fantasy, who makes a Zeppelin. And now we have this, which is also a Zeppelin. Zeppelins are just black coated.
Yes.
Very strange.
Mono black Zeppelins deck in 10 years.
The only thing I'm disappointed about, doesn't have Firebending, like the show.
Yeah.
I'll live.
Yeah. We'll get through it. All right, Jake. Well, thanks for sharing the cards
absolutely.
you're most excited about. But next, we're going to hear from Alex.
I'm gonna airbend myself out of here real quick.
I mean, you said you were going to see my mug, but I just kind of have this cup.
That's all right.
All right,
Come
cool.
on in.
Cool. I just wanted to make sure that was okay before I sat down and joined you.
So, Alex, are you excited for Avatar?
I am stoked.
You're hyped?
The more I see of this set, the more I love this set.
Yes.
It is steadily growing on me. A year from now, 2 years from now, I might have every single letter of every one of these cards memorized.
Heck yeah, brother.
We are growing.
So you get 7 cards to talk about today. What's number 1, or what's your first one that you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the land cyclers.
Okay, great.
It's super unique for us to be talking about this on what's generally a Commander channel.
Sure.
Because I feel like this isn't necessarily Commander specific.
Yeah. Hey, Ash Barons was printed in almost every pre-con for a while.
You know what? That's true. You're right. So by the land cyclers, I'm referring to Giant Koi, Saber-Tooth Moose Lion, Mongoose Lizard, Canyon Crawler, and Rabaroo Troop.
Okay.
And each of those are 6 mana, so 4 colorless, and then 2 pips of that color, right? So the Koi Blue, the Lion Green, Lizard Red, Canyon Crawler Black, and the Troop White.
Checks out to me.
And they cycle away for 2, and you either island cycle, mountain cycle, yada, yada, yada.
Depending on their color, right?
Currently, semi-irrelevant to Commander.
Yes.
But I do think it's interesting, because I think they're being printed for Standard and Draft and all that.
Yep.
So that you can, go find stuff but still have big beaters.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting because you can start playing bigger, higher CMC Commander decks, like Karugas, right? And then still have a way to find lands.
Gotcha.
And that's something that I'm interested in, because we've seen them commonly across like Duskmourn, Final Fantasy, Lost Caverns, and Mom.
Yeah, and I
All
think
had like a couple.
the one that's most playable that I see in most Commander decks is the Lorien Revealed card.
Yeah.
Right, which draws 3 cards, or you can cycle it for 1 mana, right? And that is pretty good, right? Like, it's one of those things where, like, if you need it to be a land, it's basically like a lot of people equate it to a tap land for the 1 mana ones.
Yeah.
Or it's almost like a DFC kind of thing. So 2 mana is hard for me to swallow, but I can see the intent there. Like, if you need a big creature that water bends, you could do the giant koi, right?
Yeah.
But you could also island cycle.
I think they're all interesting. They're not necessarily strong creatures, right? Like the giant koi, 3 mana or water bending to make it unblockable. Saber-Tooth Moose Lion is going to be reach. Mongoose Lizard is red, so of course it's menace, right? But it also has the Perforos text. Well, 1 damage, as opposed to 2 damage. I thought it was both.
Nah.
When this creature, well, yeah, so it's not as good. Single target, single instance. Canyon Crawler is going to be our mono black, creates a food and is a spider, and
You got a spider deck.
definitely
Cares about food.
You're right. And
Check out our Halloween episode.
That's true. And our Rabaroo Troop has landfall and gives flying and you gain a life.
Landfall Gain Life might be the best one of that.
Yeah, and this one's actually only 5 mana instead of the 6. But
Okay, yeah. These are very expensive creatures. I think
Yeah.
for me, like, if you're doing something that cares about CMC, I think this is a good way to, like, fix or, make sure you hit your land drop if you need it, or, care about the...
I think it makes more hands keepable too.
Sure, yeah.
In terms of like, okay, I can go find this if I need to. If I draw the planes, then I can hold off for a little bit.
2 mana draw, please.
Yeah.
No, I could see the vision, right? It's not a basic, right? So you search for 8
That's
planes.
true, yeah.
So you can mana fix.
And the same thing, you can go find triomes, you can go find whatever specials you've got going on.
Yeah, I'd love to see a more like Lorien Revealed, like powerful effects like this.
Yeah, I can see that. Maybe they thought it was too strong.
Maybe.
Who knows?
We'll see in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
So what do you got next?
Well, if we're finding lands, we can talk about elemental teachings.
Great.
So elemental teachings, 4 and a green for an instant lesson, because the lesson type relevant again.
Somewhat.
Right?
Yeah, on
Sort
certain
of.
cards.
Search your library for up to 4 land cards with different names and reveal them. An opponent chooses 2 of those cards, put the chosen cards into your graveyard and shuffle. Put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle.
Nice. So we've seen these effects before, right?
We absolutely have. It very much reminds me specifically of Realms Uncharted.
Yeah.
Just like Realms Uncharted,
You search for 4.
you search for 4, 2 to the bin, except this time they're 2 to the battlefield
little
instead
bit
of into
better.
your hand.
Yeah.
So this is at instant speed double landfall,
Yeah.
but also maybe you're playing Golgari and you're looking for An Urborg?
You don't even need Golgari,
Maybe
right?
a Cabal Coffer?
Ice Tool Explorer, you just whoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ramunap Excavator, Ice Tool Explorer, you just pull them out of your graveyard. You don't even need the black.
Well, so I was thinking the black for the Urborg coffers
sure. Yeah.
kind of combination.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you were talking about the graveyard.
Yeah. Well, Ice Tool Explorer also lets you pull those bad boys.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of lands in the graveyard working together recently.
Yeah, that's definitely been a focus of green and landfall and all that good stuff.
Because hey, if you can't destroy lands, you may as well have another way to get them back in case they go missing.
Exactly.
Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think this is a very interesting card, right? Like if you want to spend that 2 extra mana versus Realms Uncharted, you can get them right onto the battlefield. It has a fun little mini game, just like Fact or Fiction, right? Where you get to like do, hey, you pick these two, right? And you can run both if you are doing landfall. So if you have lands that you really care about that you can recur from the graveyard, you can be running both of these guys.
Yeah, and you're looking for specifics.
Yeah.
Then it fits right in. Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about elemental teachings,
Sure. Yeah.
should we talk about elemental ascensions? You're next.
Yes, sir. So there is a cycle of ascensions, right? We've seen these before, but not in this form. So there's a Waterbender Ascension, Firebender Ascension, Earthbender Ascension, and Airbender Ascension. I think the ones that stand out to me the most are the Airbender Ascension and the Firebender. So the Airbender is when it enters the battlefield, airbend up to 1 target creature. Whenever a creature you control enters, put a quest counter on this enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if this enchantment has 4 more quest counters on it, exile up to 1 target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So for 1 and a white, you get this effect that is usually like around the 4 or 5 mana, like Conjurer's Closet or Teleportation Circle.
Yeah.
But you just got to do a little bit of groundwork, but it's creatures entering the battlefield. Like you are going to get that so soon. And you get the airbending up to 1 target creature. Could be your own to enable it, or it could be someone else's for a little bit of an offensive ability.
And then it triggers on end step, right? So you could play this, find a way to get 4 other creatures out.
True.
Maybe you already have a way on board that's going to produce 4 creatures, and then it'll trigger same turn. That's really neat.
Yeah, if you're running Sokka, Tenacious Tactician, who's triggering making allies off of non-creature spells, late game, boom, 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 or a Kaikar, right? Same kind of effect. You could absolutely feasibly see this. And then Firebender's Ascension is 1 in a red, and just like this cycle, it has a beneficial effect when it enters, which is creating a 2/2 soldier creature token with Firebending 1. Whenever a creature you control attacking causes a triggered ability of that creature to trigger, put a quest counter on this enchantment. When it has 4, you may copy that ability and choose new targets. So this effect is actually a little bit cheaper. So Ishin is a Mardu way of doing it, right?
Yeah.
And then there's also Windcrag Siege, which is a Boros way of doing it. But this is only 2 mana, so you have another redundancy for this effect. It creates a 2/2 with Firebending, and it's enabling itself. So this one's going to take
mono red this time.
Mono red, yeah.
We're just knocking off a color each time.
Exactly. So this one I think is going to usually take a little bit longer, but you could still drop it late game, have 4 triggered attackers, and then start churning those.
And if you have 4 Firebenders, that's like this turn we're there.
Yeah, exactly.
So that definitely builds up the progress.
Yeah, if you're Firebender maxing.
I think it's really interesting, especially with Firebending, because then once you're at 4, you just double your Firebending triggers.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool. So there's Earthbender's Ascension. Why don't you read that one?
So Earthbender Ascension, 2 and a green, enchantment, obviously. When this enchantment enters, Earthbend 2, then search your library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield, tapped, then shuffle. And it has landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, put a quest counter on this enchantment. When you do, if it has 4 or more quest counters on it, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control against trample until end of turn. Okay.
This one doesn't wow me that much. The trample's nice, the counter's nice, especially if you're having a lot of hardened scales effects. What's the Waterbender Ascension do?
The Earthbender is also like half of a cultivate, where it puts the land onto the battlefield and then pairs in counters at a later date instead of land to hand.
Yeah, I think if this one was 2 mana, I would like it a little bit more, but that's kind of greedy. But I think it would be pretty, a little bit better.
I
3
could
mana
see
is
that.
making it tough for me.
Waterbender Ascension, 1 in a blue, enchantment. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a quest counter on this enchantment. Then if it has 4 or more quest counters on it, draw a card. And it has Waterbend 4, target creature can't be blocked this turn.
Yeah, this one's kind of interesting. I think this effect is usually a little bit more expensive, but it's also a little bit more competitive. I don't love the Waterbend 4 to make the target creature unblockable. I think, you know, I think the Firebending and the Airbending is a little bit more strong.
The spot I have with it is that it takes 4 creatures hitting to get the draw card effect.
Yeah.
The Waterbend 4 is like a thing, but for if you play this turn 2, right? Turn 4 you could have a Biden of Thassa. Whereas this is, okay, turn 2, and then a couple turns later, it's essentially the Biden of Thassa. This feels like it takes a little bit longer time-wise to get going to that point.
Agreed.
And the Waterbend 4 is just like, hey, here's a little bonus. You know?
I think the tension for me is that it wants to be put in a deck that all of your stuff is unblockable.
Yeah.
Right? Your like little 1/1s are unblockable, but then the Waterbend enables unblockable. I can't imagine you're going to be spending that Waterbend every single turn just to get to the draw effect. Like, that's just too much investment, I think, unless your commander really, really, really wants to hit. In that case.
I wonder if it scales up in a deck like that, where the low unblockable things then later provide payment for the Waterbend for your bigger blockable creature to then get through.
Yeah. But that would, that's kind of the point, is like, you need that big creature to care.
Yeah,
I just think the other ones are better.
To slide its way through.
Yeah. But
I agree.
2 duds in a cycle, I'm not mad about it. I think the Fire and Air is pretty good.
I would say, tell us what your favorites are. Like, are people going to run any of these?
I think the Fire and Air people are going to run.
I think they're all definitely playable.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting to see which ones show up, and maybe there's specific niches for the other ones.
Yeah. I just think the landfall is too competitive for cards.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the Fire and Air, like you said, the mono red doesn't have it, and the Mardu and the ones that already have the triggered effects, like, are
They really like the trigger
let's trigger them
effects.
again, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, the ETB one's just so easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially for cards that care about ETBs, like
Aang at the Crossroads. So Aang at the Crossroads was one of the first things revealed on preview day.
Sure,
The actual preview day. So for 2 and Bant, you get a legendary creature human avatar ally, a 3/3 with flying. When Aang enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a creature card with mana value 4 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest onto the bottom of your library in a random order. Whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield, transform Aang at the beginning of the next upkeep, and he'll flip into a 4/4 Aang Destined Savior, which is flying. Land creatures you control have vigilance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, Earthbend 2.
and he becomes colorless.
He does. All of the avatars on the backside are colorless, which I think is really
It's pretty
neat.
Yeah, their avatar state.
Yeah, they're all as one.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really neat. I think this card is cool. There's definitely, I was going to say a form of card advantage. This is just straight up card advantage.
Yeah.
It's you get something for free, provided 1 in every 20 cards in your deck, roughly, is mana value 4 or less and a creature.
Yeah, you're going to whiff sometimes, but I find I start to get comfortable around the 5 to 7 range. Like 4 is still a little scary. 3 and 2 is like you're not looking at enough. But 5 and up, like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hit something more than likely if I built the deck like to focus on that.
Yeah, and I said 1 in 20, but it is 1 in 5, so 20% of your deck kind of fits this this leeway.
So interesting. There's a little bit of tension with him, right? You're looking
Yeah.
for creature cards, but then his backside you Earthbend. So how are you thinking you would build this guy?
Either turning lands into creatures or turning creatures into lands.
Okay, I kind of like that.
So one of the things that I have been toying with mentally is how Eudora Gravegardener interacts with Earthbend in general. So Eudora Gravegardener turns, when a creature dies, it returns to the battlefield as a forest.
Sure.
And then Earthbend, when target land dies or is exiled, it returns to the battlefield tapped.
Right.
And I'm not sure if it returns flipped, right? Or how that would work if I'm then getting my former creature land back as a land or as a creature. But that would be interesting. But then there's also cards like Obun that kind of goes out of its way to put counters on lands, and you can kind of build up that way. Obun was one of my first decks.
Yeah.
So every time they come out with more effects, they're like, hey, hit people with lands. I'm like, ooh, that was fun. I should do that again.
Do that. Yeah, this would be like a different spin on Obun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there's going to be some balance of turning creatures into lands and lands into creatures.
Yeah.
But I think the more interesting part is probably the Earthbending and turning lands into creatures.
I think set-wise, I love the Earthbending. It's definitely a cool mechanic. Like,
Yeah.
they nailed all the bendings, but I think Earthbending is one that I keep going like, man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, so far in gameplay, something we haven't really seen.
Not yet, yeah.
And so when I break out my Aang deck, we're going to get a shot at him.
Yeah, honestly, our third gameplay is going to be Toph, which I'm Earthbending, Aang, which you're Earthbending, and Boomy, which is Earthbending, and then Wan Shi Tong, which, you know,
Is
not
a library.
Earthbending, but Jake's like, you know what, screw all these Earthbendings, we're just going to talk for lands.
Earthbending, flying.
Yeah, there we go. Yep. Flying creatures.
Can't be affected.
So check that out. That's going to release in a couple weeks. So stay tuned. We got a couple more gameplays. One that's posted right now, one that's coming out very soon.
One of the cards that I've included actually in my Fire Lord Azula deck that I was super stoked for is Sozin's Comet.
Yes, that card is cool.
The arts for this card are cool. The foretell on this card is cool. So Sozin's Comet, 3 red, sorcery. Each creature you control gains Firebending 5 until end of turn. It has foretell, which is pay 2, and then you can cast it later for 2 and a red.
And Firebending. We haven't talked about that.
Oh, we haven't yet?
I don't think so.
My favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite. I love it. I'm going to talk about it a ton, so we'll get there. Whenever this creature attacks, you add Firebending 5, so red. This mana lasts until the end of combat.
Yeah, red equal to the
Specifically
number.
until the end of combat. Yeah, so Firebending 5 would be 5 red, Firebending 1 would be 1 red, so on and so forth.
Sozin said, you want all your creatures to have Firebending?
Yeah.
Go for it, my guy.
So my favorite interaction with this card is Comet Storm.
Yeah.
Because I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand. Comet Storm is just beautiful direct damage and an absolute flavor win here. So Comet Storm, X red, instant. So you can do it in combat. Multi-kicker for 1. Choose any target, then choose another target for each time the spell was kicked. Comet Storm deals X damage to each of them.
Yep.
So this is potentially lethal before you even get to combat.
Yes. Yeah, Comet Storm's pretty good. So yeah, you put 3 mana into it, plus the red. Pick your 3 opponents, then everything else goes to damage.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, I think Firebending's cool. It's really interesting to me that it has to be in combat. And so that part is, it's tricky.
Yeah.
I know it's something that I had my toils with deck building and trying to find ways, how can I use this?
Yeah. There's a couple ways to do it, right? There's the instants, there's the mana sinks.
Yeah.
And then there's just like making everything you have flash speed. So making them instants basically. which is very, very interesting. It's definitely a restriction that you have to build around.
Yeah.
And what I think is really interesting about Sozin's Comet in particular is that if you have a commander like Firelord Azula or Firelord Zuko that already has Firebending, another instance will generate more mana. It's not like building off of it. It would trigger Firebending 5 and then Firebending 2 on Firelord Azula. So you would get 7 mana from her. The effects stack, basically, in a sense, which is kind of interesting. You get more and more mana. It's kind of cool.
So is that 2 triggers for Firebender Ascension?
That would be 2, which could be also doubled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That... We might be cooking. We might be cooking with fire.
Cooking with fire. Yeah, I think it's a cool card. But you definitely got to care about it. I think commanders with a mana sink will like it the best.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to have some way to spend it.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not just going in your random token deck.
Yeah.
Because the mana is going to go away at the end of combat.
Right.
There's nothing to do with it.
Yeah. So, speaking of which, there is Firelord Zuko, which I played in the gameplay that came out today, or recently, which is a Mardu commander. He is red, white, and black for a 2/4 human noble ally. Firebending X, where X is Firelord Zuko's power. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, and whenever a permanent you control enters from exile, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Thank you guys. Thank you, Watsy, for printing a commander that doesn't solve itself. Like, you are forced to figure out how you are going to tackle the problem that he only adds 2 mana basically by himself, right? You have to be playing things from exile or having things enter from exile. So there's a couple different ways that you can tackle that, right? You can go the blink route, where you're ephemerating your creatures, you're airbending Ascension your creatures,
That's
right?
true, yeah.
There are definitely a bunch of ways to go about it. Or you could be putting in a whole bunch of exile effects into your deck. So one of the cards that I think that really encapsulates what Zuko is trying to do is Bonehorde Dracosaur. It's 3 red for a 5/5 dinosaur dragon. It has flying and first strike. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. If you exile the land card this way, you create a 3/1 red dinosaur creature token. If you exile the non-land card this way, you create a treasure. So he's a flying first strike beater that grows when you cast things from exiles because of Zuko.
Yeah.
He also exiles cards that you can play that enables Zuko. And he creates 3/1 dinosaur tokens that can also be buffed by Zuko.
and continue to grow.
And this deck is probably going to be acting at instant speed a lot, so you got your treasure tokens just for that extra thing. This is like a perfect card for it. Speaking of perfect cards, Tavern Brawler is definitely along those lines.
Yeah.
It's 2 and a red for a legendary enchantment background. Commander creatures you own have, at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. This creature gets +X/+O until end of turn, where X is that card's mana value. So let's just theorize for a second that you impulse draw Bonehorde Dracosaur, and now Zuko has +5/+O from Tavern Brawler. You can play that card, you can buff him, he's got 7 power, you go to combat, you firebend for 7, and you just have all this mana to cast all these spells. He is absolutely insane, but you're going to want to spend that mana on something. So something like Wand of Wonder is something that I used to great effect in our game.
You really did.
Where you can channel that firebending mana into it and cast more spells from exile from your opponents. Instants or sorceries, so they usually affect the board in sneaky ways. There's also Fires of Mount Doom, which you got to be a little bit careful with. When it enters, it deals 2 damage to target creature and opponent controls, and then destroy all equipment attached to it. You don't really care about that, but you could get somebody. But 2 and a red, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. When you play that card this way, it deals 2 damage to each player. That includes you, but it is a good way to sink some mana. That's what I found a lot with this deck is it builds itself up fast, but you need like mana sinks to actually benefit from it. So Zuko exiled Prince. I won't read that whole card, but it's another mana sink. It has
Vindictive
Firebending.
Warden.
What's that?
Vindictive Warden.
Gotcha.
Another one of the new cards that mana sinks for damage.
Yes. Yeah. And that does each player, right?
I believe it's opponents.
Each opponent. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's really good. And then Norin the Wary just goes absolute crazy. It's a 1-drop, and he runs away at the sight of any danger, and he exiles himself, comes back at the end step.
He loses his counters almost immediately.
Yeah, but Zuko doesn't.
Yeah, everything else keeps him.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of cool cards. Basalt Monolith is a particularly dastardly card that you can put in this, because you can untap it for 3 of your Firebending mana.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Spend it in main, untap it in combat, spend it again in main 2.
Yeah, I think Zuko is pretty fun because you have to solve that. And that means that sometimes you're going to whiff, right? You're not going to draw the right pieces. And I think that's cool. I think that's fun. That you can kind of tweak to make it actually work in a way that works for you. There's also the Legend of Roku, which is new in this set. That's just perfect for him. He impulses draws off the top, and then he eventually flips into a Firebending 4, and you can sink 8 mana into it to create a 4/4 red dragon with Firebending 4. So it just kind of like compounds into each other by the end there. Ozai the Phoenix King, pretty cool. I think we're going to be talking about him today.
We absolutely will.
So we'll talk about him more. But he's just cool. Fire Lord Zuko is one of my favorite new commanders from the set.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry it has to end this way, brother.
Oh, you're talking about...
We're going to talk about Fire Lord Azula,
Yeah.
which I played against Fire Lord Zuko.
It's true.
Fire Lord Azula is 1 and Grixis, so 1 blue, black, red for a legendary creature human noble, with Firebending 2, so not as much. She's a 4/4 though, and whenever you cast a spell while Fire Lord Azula is attacking, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. And I had some fun with it. I leaned significantly more into the Give Things Flash because I thought it would be fun to copy permanents.
Sure, yeah. They stick around.
And so, like, Ifey Tricksters, Fidelkan Orrery, things of that sort, just get things around, copy those, and then kind of build a board state that way. But you can absolutely build this Grixis removal.deck and just run that way.
But if you have a way to end the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you do build it that way, be prepared to find a new friend group because they will not play again.
Yeah. Something that I found, and I'm curious if you found this too, is with Fire Lord Zuko, the Firebending restricting you to that mana in combat is really restrictive for removal spells. It's like, I want to fire this off, but it's not really the right time. Like, you have to be proactive rather than reactive. And I think she would encourage that behavior even more, because it's like, I want to get 2 things.
So that was one of my initial builds of the deck. So I don't know if you did the same thing with Zuko that I did with Azula, but I intentionally stayed away from the ways to keep the mana past combat. Just because I wanted to feel the Firebending and like just see how it did as its own mechanic.
Yeah, doing it the thing.
And so I intentionally stayed away from the Leyline Tyrants and Electro Assaulting Battery as like, okay, this mana is specifically for this.
Yeah.
But one of the initial versions of the deck was removal, and the goal was, hey, what can I get through, and just use Firebending to force my way through.
Sure.
Would you like to try blocking? Will I remove it if you block with it? That type of deal. Or at the same time is just, I'm going to remove it before you can block with it. Who cares?
Yeah.
But I think the way I kind of shifted into it, because I like you guys and would like to continue to play with you guys, was what other little tips and tricks can I do? And I think something you can do with Fire Lord Azula that you can't really do with Zuko, because it's Firebending X, you can pump her afterwards, right? Get the Firebending mana and then pump, whereas I think with Zuko you would rather pump first.
Yeah, it definitely depends which stage you're in, or what you want to do.
And so with her, I had spots where like I left up mana, or I waited to use the mana until after blockers were declared.
Sure.
And then you can do Unleashed Fury or something of that sort, where it's like, haha, big damage.
Yeah.
And Calamax it.
Yeah, Calamax knows well how to do that.
I think this was probably the hardest one for me to build because we saw it so much earlier than the rest of the world. And there's not really another Grixis commander like it.
Sure, yeah.
And so I was building off of other kind of Voltron decks, Voltron Spellslinger decks that aren't in these colors.
Yeah, I do think that's a good point. She's very
and
unique.
piecing things together.
Yeah.
I thought it was super fun though, and I think it's a deck that I'll keep around just because I thought it was really interesting.
She's kind of fun, yeah.
Yeah. Now that we've talked about brother and sister, we'll just third Fire Lord's the charm. Let's talk about Fire Lord Ozai. So Fire Lord Ozai, we've seen for a while now.
Yep.
Was one of the first cards previewed. Fire Lord Ozai, 3 and a black, 4/4, legendary creature human noble. When Fire Lord Ozai attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, add an amount of red mana equal to the sacrificed creature's power. Until end of combat, you don't lose this mana as step's end.
How are you going to use that mana, Alex?
Well, we're looking for mana sinks. For 6 mana, exile the top card of each opponent's library. Until end of turn, you may play one of those cards without paying its mana cost.
Okay, it's a tally, but you got to work for it.
And notably, it does say play.
Yep.
So you
Play a land.
you can play a land with it. It is just 6 in that colon. So it's as many times as you want.
Yeah, you got 12 mana, do it
And
again.
yeah, you can just roll your way through it. I built this deck, I think, an interesting way. So I was turned on to this card because I love the card Urabrask's Forge.
Yep.
It's one of my personal favorite cards. Not really relevant to Ozai until you've had it out for 6 turns, but you know, we'll get there.
Get there.
But after that, I turned into, okay, what's the cheapest way I can get 6 power on the board?
Ball lightning.
Yeah, Ball Lightning, Lightning Skelemental, sacrifice those bad boys. As soon as I swing with Ozai, we're playing everybody's deck.
Yeah. He, in particular, is pretty sneaky, right? Because the Firebending text doesn't count towards commander color identity, but his is a different type of kind of Firebending-esque.
Yeah.
So it is rules text that adds so he is Rakdos. It's kind of sneaky how
he
they
is
do that.
particularly Rakdos, but it still only lasts through combat.
Yeah.
So you have to use it now.
Yeah.
And so I built kind of sneak attack ways to get out my big attackers, and it's just like, hey, they're gonna be gone anyway.
Yeah.
We don't need them.
Yeah.
But I think the card is so cool. I named it, I believe it was Ozai Firelord Farquaad.
Sure.
Because some of you may die, but that's a risk we're willing to take.
Yes.
And they don't have to stick around before you sacrifice them. You just have to swing with Ozai.
Yeah, I mean, he's in perfect colors for it too. Like those big creatures that have huge power, like, Shadow of Mortality, cast Reanimate, bring it back, keep doing the sack thing. Like, it's cool.
I think he was really exciting. It's definitely a deck I'm going to keep around.
Yeah. Keep nurturing.
Yeah, there's definitely, I'm sure there will be more cards kind of as time goes on that pop up for it. Like one of the more recent ones, Hunted Bone Brute, is only about a year old now.
Sure, yeah.
And that's 3 mana for 6 power, 6/2. So that's nothing too crazy. But I thought he was just such a cool commander to dig into.
Oh, yeah.
That it was well worth my time. But that's not the Ozai that we're stoked to talk about, is it, Al?
No, we got the big bad Ozai at the end of the series.
Ozai the Phoenix King is a 7/7 for 2 black, red, legendary creature human noble, trample, firebending 4, haste. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes red instead. Ozai has flying and indestructible as long as you have 6 or more unspent mana.
Okay, so he's different than Azula and Zuko. He says, don't spend the mana. I get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitting someone just like with 7 right away as soon as you cast it is crazy.
Yeah.
that just pops out.
Yeah.
And maybe you have 2 extra mana. He just, as soon as you swing him, hey, now I've got 6 unspent mana.
I get it back.
We're good. I'm indestructible.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
He hits you with the mail-in rebate on the Firebending 4. So
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
I think he's really exciting. You are in the perfect colors for rituals. So it's just, you know what? Get him out faster.
Yeah.
Try it. Why not?
I definitely think the person who sits down with the Ozai the Phoenix King deck, I am looking to hold my removal for turn 6, right? Because he's going to become indestructible. Unless I'm in white or exile colors, like I'm going to have trouble with that.
Yeah.
So like I got to be on my toes. So if you pop out with a ritual, then I'm going to be like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Wait, he's here already.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think he's so exciting. They gave him some phenomenal arts for him. He's got 3 arts. I think they're all great. But it feels very endgame Ozai.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Season
I'm going to hit
finale.
you 3 times, and that's it. You're done. And just pairing the trample in there, the build up to him is crazy to me. I don't know if he's really any more than a Voltron deck.
Yeah.
Maybe a pump spell with the different firebending, but I do think overall he's just incredibly exciting.
Yeah, and am I not wrong that Relentless Assault goes crazy? No, what's the one?
Aggravated assault.
Aggravated Assault, right? Because
Yeah.
you get the 4 mana back.
Oh yeah.
And the Firebending problem with Aggravated Assault is it's only a sorcery. So it's the 5 mana, you get another combat. But with Ozai, that mana carries over.
Yep.
So, it's not everything you need. If it was Firebending 5, you'd be in the clear.
You're one short.
But I mean,
Firebender's Ascension.
yeah, then you're good. Yeah, but even if you're doing it for 1 red mana plus the Firebending that he creates, like you're just like it's gonna feel like you're Aang in the last episode.
Yeah.
With him flying around with his.
And Sozin's Comet automatically pays for aggravated assault.
Oh, yeah.
Each creature can pay for it. So you got multiple creatures. You just stack those bad boys.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Aggravated Assault, Sozin's Comet, Ozai goes crazy.
Yeah. You just... Aggravated assault players are eating this set. They love firebending. Yeah. We love firebending.
If they can solve the sorcery problem, but yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, play this ability only anytime you could play a sorcery. Yeah, so Ozai lets you keep it.
Yeah, best friend. Yeah.
Solves that problem. The last Agni Kai. We'll let you keep it till end of turn, but that's the specific amounts. So maybe use Ozai to pop off a 2 toughness little guy or something. But there's got to be other ways that you can feed into the loop. Yeah, I think it's really exciting overall. I don't know, you guys. Somehow I just ended up almost exclusively talking about firebending, and it's.
Judging by the first 2 commanders you picked for our gameplay, that checks out.
I do play a lot of Rakdos, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
So that kind of makes sense. Hey, I branched out. I put
did too.
blue in one of these decks.
Yeah, since you took the Grixis commander, I've played a Mardu commander. So yeah,
Look at us.
Both,
We are growing as commander
Yes,
players.
we are.
We are learning new elements. we are really making progress here.
But we do have to talk to one more master of the elements in Ryan. So Alex, we're gonna earthbend you away. Welcome, Ryan.
Yes.
So tell me, are you excited for Atla?
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't seen the
Yeah.
show, so you're
No.
kind of getting all this firsthand.
Yeah.
Living vicariously through us.
Yep. It's interesting, I'll say that. It is definitely nice not having the sort of emotional connection to a universes beyond, so I can be like, oh, I can just experience cards.
You can be like, this is a cool ability.
This is a card.
Let me put it in.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have to care about the way the character is depicted. I just have to worry about if the card's good or not.
Exactly. So tell me about, you're talking about 7 cards today. Tell me about your
Yes.
first one.
Yes, so the first card I'm talking about is Avatar's Wrath. It is 2 white for a sorcery. Choose up to 1 target creature, then airbend all other creatures. And then until your next turn, your opponents can cast spells from anywhere other than their hands, and then exile Avatar's Wrath.
Interesting. So you basically get to keep one thing,
Yes.
airbend everything else, but your opponents can't bring him back.
Can bring him back.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very interesting, especially if your opponents are like pinched on mana or they're relying on mana rocks or mana accelerants.
Yes.
Especially if they have like dark ritualed out a commander and you do this and they're like, well, I can't cast my 7-drop commander. It's turn 4.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's very, very interesting because you can't cast spells anywhere other than your hand. So that includes the command zone.
yeah.
So
yeah.
you kind of also lock out
kind of soft silence.
Yeah.
Commanders for a turn.
commanders, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And then Prosper players, Firelord Zuko players, they're crying.
yeah. But then you are technically casting it from exile, so
Yeah.
they're kind of like, oh, it's not that
Yeah,
bad.
they'll eat later, yeah.
Yeah. So not completely bad. I just like the play on the sort of Wrath of God effect from Avatar, and I thought this was nice because it does like set mechanic as well as doing like an interesting Dranith Magistrate effect on the back end.
I would definitely put this in a Blink or a Play from Exile deck.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just to get because paying 2 mana for your things to re-enter, I'm sure you guys have talked about it, airbending up to this point. It's not ideal, but it is definitely better than it just being exiled forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if
Yeah.
it didn't have the text until your next turn, your opponents can't do it, it would be
would
stone
be,
unplayable.
It'd be a lot worse. There's just an Appa that does this, but better. You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
All right, let me hit you with one.
Sure.
We're gonna talk about the walls of bossing, say. So this 8 mana legendary creature artifact wall
8 mana, you say?
is a 0/30.
0/30.
It has Defender, as all walls should, and other permanents you control have Indestructible. Come on.
8 mana.
Come on.
8 mana. It is an artifact. So I mean, it's easy to cheat artifacts.
Yes, it's easy to cheat artifacts. It's definitely a top end of the curve kind of thing, unless you're cheating. But it's a 0/30, Ryan. It's a 0/30.
Your Arcades can kill people in 2 swings.
Oh my gosh, Arcades loves this card.
Yeah, Doran, the Siege Tower, Arcades, yeah.
All right, pop quiz, Ryan. What is the creature with the biggest toughness prior to Walls of Bossing, say?
I'm gonna guess. Do I have to guess a specific creature?
Yeah.
What's a Emrakul? 15/15?
No, it was Ancient Adamantoise in Final Fantasy. 5 green. It's an 8/20. So we upped that by 50% in what, 2 sets?
That is crazy. I do play Ancient Adamantoise too.
Yes. So that was also an 8-drop. I just thought that was kind of funny. But you know who else loves it other than Arcades?
Who?
Is Baator, Kin to All.
Oh, yeah.
Kin to All. So he has an effect that cares about toughness on your end step. If you have 10 or greater, you get to draw a card. If you have 20 or greater, you untap each creature. If you have 40 or greater toughness, each opponent loses half their life rounded up. So Walls of Bossing,
you're like more than halfway there.
and Baator is 37. You just need a 0/3. I think that's hilarious. And then there's also Felothar the Steadfast, right? Which has Arcades text, and you sacrifice a creature for 3 and a tap, draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness.
Ooh,
draw 30.
30.
Then discard equal to its power. 0.
And then reanimate, targeting the Walls of Bossing.
Crazy. The Pride of the Hulklade. 2 blue until end of turn. Activated ability is 2 blue until end of turn. Target creature you control gains +1/+0, and whenever it deals combat damage, draw cards equal to its toughness. Pretty good.
Yeah, no,
Draw
it's very good. It's just that 8 mana is the only thing that I'm like, ooh.
We don't gotta worry about that.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about the 8 mana. We just have to worry about 30, the largest number.
Last March of the Ends. Draw cards equal to the greatest toughness among creatures you control. I just want to draw 30, guys.
I can see why. I can see what the Walls of Bossing say. Other permanents you control have indestructible isn't anything to sneeze at. There's definitely walls that do this, give other things hexproof. And just giving it indestructible is just icing on the cake. 8 mana is a big ask, but boy, howdy, do people get to 8 mana real quick in Commander, though.
I mean, Avacyn, Angel of Hope, like, is playable.
Yeah.
But 8 mana is tough. I cut
it is
6 mana cards at this point.
It is easier as an artifact, you know.
Yeah.
You can cheat it in somehow or
Goblin Welder.
Yeah. You can reanimate it pretty easily as an artifact. You can, you know, swap it around, but yeah. I mean, being an O30 is pretty cool.
Yeah, I just love that part.
Yeah.
The Indestructible's cool too, but
Yeah.
a 0/30.
Yeah, it is a 0/30, and I think Walls of Bossing Say is definitely like one of those, like if you crack it, you're like, oh, neat.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, for the show, right, it's very iconic location, right? Impenetrable walls kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Now I have to look up my next card.
yeah, what else you got for me?
So I'm going to talk about a very me card, an Air Nomad Legacy.
Azorius.
Yeah, it is Azorius, so white and blue. For an enchantment, when this enchantment enters, create a clue token. Creatures you control with flying get +1/+1.
Nice.
It is a glorious anthem. It is a favorable winds that creates you a clue token on ETB.
Interesting.
Brother, I am a flying man enjoyer.
Yes.
And just to have, and also a glorious anthem enjoyer. And to have those two sort of like effects come together in holy matrimony is very nice. This is definitely, like I talked about Aunt May during Spider-Man. I'm talking about a weird uncommon in Avatar.
true.
I have more weird uncommons to talk about later in the list. But
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's just a role filler for my flying deck. It's definitely like not the best card, but am I gonna be happy if I draw it turn 2 or turn 20? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I think, you know, I'm not a big Anthem player, I'll be honest.
I love Anthem so much.
It's hard for me to get one in there. But if you Anthem max, if you stack up,
Oh yeah.
like you do in a flying deck, it starts to hurt.
You don't
So-
like this card, I understand.
No, I don't. But you know, I respect it.
It's my list.
I have to respect
Yeah,
it because I've been got too many times with like the flowering of the white tree.
Yeah,
and,
chunky flyers.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I will hit you next with the last kind of card that I want to talk about today,
Oh, really?
which is Sokka and Suki. So it's a Jeskai card, so blue, red, white. It's a 3/3 human warrior ally. Whenever Sokka and Suki or another ally you control enters, attach up to one target creature you control to that creature. Whenever an equipment you control enters, create a 1/1 ally creature token. Can you believe it's taken this long for this effect to be on a commander? Because they've been printing it willy-nilly with Job Select and For Mirrodin and Living Weapon.
Yeah.
But now you get to do it on every equipment. So here's how it goes, right? So you play Sokka and Suki, you play an equipment.
Yes.
When the equipment ETBs, you create a 1/1 ally, and then it attaches
Picks
to
up the stick.
Right? So what this enables is a equipment deck where you don't got to run that many creatures, right? The creatures you're going to be running are going to be like what? SRAM, where you draw cards out.
Pure Steel Paladin, SRAM, yeah.
As kind of like a backup kind of thing, right? For the zero equip, if you want to move them all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is not going to be like your tier 1 VV or tier deck, right? But
Doesn't look like it, but it looks fun.
it does look fun because one of the things that turned me off to equipment is definitely like, okay, what's the right mix of equipment versus
get ya.
creatures,
I
and
get
then
ya.
the board wipe thing. So the thing that I like,
The whole board wipe thing. Yeah.
yeah, it's like if you board wipe, then you have to spend all this mana attaching these creatures.
Yeah.
But this kind of helps out a little bit. So you have to get a little quirky with it if you want to have a lot of fun with it. But luckily, I did some research for you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so let me throw some cards at you. So first off, Bloodforge Battle Axe is the perfect opportunity for this.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You connect, you create a token copy, you attach the ally,
Another
boom,
guy, it
and then
keeps
you
going, it keeps going. Yeah.
So you're going wide with equipment, which is a fragile strategy, but very cool. Arterial Alchemy is a 2 in a red enchantment. When it enters, you create a blood token for each opponent you have. So you create 3 blood tokens.
Yes.
Those blood tokens are equipment
Oh my god.
that have +2/+0. So for 3 mana, you create 3 tokens.
Yeah.
Sokka and Suki are on the battlefield. You create 3 allies. Boom, they're 3 ones. So that's pretty cool.
It's like Icing Death. It's like when Icing Death dies, it makes itself into a token or an equipment token.
Exactly. And then this card is always brought up in any equipment strategy, but it's good
Skull
here too.
Clamp.
Colossus Hammer.
Oh.
Skull Clamp is pretty fun. You play Skull Clamp, attach it to the ally, draw 2.
Yeah.
1 mana, draw 2 is crazy.
Yep.
Sword of the Meek is a combo enabler, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whenever a 1/1 creature you control enters, you may return this card from your graveyard to your battlefield, then attach it to that creature.
Yeah, they pick up the stick.
So if you have like an Arcbound Ravager where you sacrifice the stick,
Yeah.
put it in
and
your
then
bin, bring it back.
Yeah.
You do a infinite combo there. Osgir, the Reconstructor,
Yeah.
crazy, right? You sacrifice your artifact, target creature gets +2/+0. And then you bring it back with his activated ability. You get 2 of them, 2 more creatures, boom.
Yep.
The other creature's still around from the first time you cast the equipment.
I mean, you get impact tremors in there somewhere too.
Oh, yeah.
Every
I
time
mean,
you play an
don't
equipment.
get crazy here. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. But the way you're going to win is with modified, right? So you're going wide with creatures. So when Akiri Battle Squad is a 5 and a red. Whenever 1 or more modified creatures you control attack, untap all modified creatures you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Triggers only once. And then Thundering Raiju, 2 red, haste whenever this creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. When this creature deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of modified creatures you control other than this creature.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I think it's a fun little deck.
It definitely seems like pretty cute. Yeah.
There is, I believe, a card in this deck or in this set that's a sorcery. It's X white, and you create that many allies.
Yes.
So that's a very good
Assemble the Ranks, something like that.
something like that. Yeah, that might be the name. That's a good board wipe recovery because if you have like all your equipment still around, you can get a bunch of allies, go whoosh, attach them all. I don't know. I think it'll be a good bracket 2-ish deck. I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Equipment's always like a fragile strategy, but like getting something, like just playing the equipment and getting something attached to it for free makes it feel a little bit less bad than like playing your sword, paying an extra 3 or 4 mana to equip it to something just for it to get blown up at instant speed, you know?
Exactly. But the most secret tech, and this is the last card I'll talk about in relation to this, is Sunforger.
Oh god.
So you get your Sunforger package, right? And then you pay 1 and a white to unattach it. Search your library for a red or white instant card that costs 4 or less. Play it without paying its mana cost. Play another play another equipment or ally, you know, whatever. Attach it. Right? You get around the equipped cost ability. So yeah, pretty cool. What else you got for me, Ryan?
I'm going to talk about Yue the Moon Spirit. Yue the Moon Spirit, 3 and a blue for a 3/3 legendary creature spirit ally. Flying in Vigilance and has Waterbend and has an ability for Waterbend 5 and tap. You may cast a non-creature spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. Interesting.
That's cheating mana cost.
Yeah,
there.
you may cast a non-creature spell
Okay.
for just tapping 5 creatures and or artifacts.
What would you drop with that?
Omniscience.
You're like, no, I want to cast everything.
Yeah, I did play this deck for content. Didn't have the strongest of showings, but I definitely died with Omniscience in my hand. You know,
It would have definitely been different if you dropped it.
yeah. I mean, it's just like dropping any non-creature spell from your hand without paying its mana cost is so scary, especially with Waterbend 5.
Yeah.
That's just 5 artifacts and like 4 artifacts and a creature, and I could drop Omniscience or Seagate Restoration or, you know, any sort of scary artifact, enchantment, planeswalker, anything that's not a creature.
Yeah, which there are plenty.
Plenty of. And I think it's just interesting because Waterbend seems like a pretty strong mechanic, especially like it harkens back to Convoke and Improvise. And when you can cast something, when you can cheat something out for an even cheaper cost, that and also keep your mana up is kind of insane.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, I could just tap 5 do-nothing artifacts and then drop Omniscience instead of paying 10, like I should.
Definitely very surprised to see it be creatures or artifacts.
Or artifacts.
Right, Convoke was creatures, Improvise was artifacts.
Now it's both.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's both. Granted, the Waterbend costs are high, you know,
They are
5.
conservative.
Yeah, you have to get 5, a combination of 5 creatures and or artifacts, but it doesn't take long, especially with all of the Murmuring Mystics and Hermes, Guardian of Elpis, and all of the weird tchotchke artifacts that come with another artifact.
Yeah, creating clue tokens. Like
Yeah, creating treasures. I mean, mono blue kinda has the short end of the stick with the artifact tchotchke creation, but you get cards that I'm going to talk about later, like Waterbending Scroll. Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, delicious. Yeah, so yeah, that's Yui the Moon Spirit. Definitely one of my favorite commanders of the set so far.
Yeah, definitely a Ryan card.
Yeah.
Blue, cares about artifacts.
Cares about weird cheating out, like has an odd, like sort of like commander gimmick to it.
I love it.
Yeah, very, very me, very me. I like it very much.
I like this one better than the favorable wind.
You're gonna like the rest of my cards probably more than the favorable wind. And I mentioned it when talking about Yui, but we're gonna talk about Waterbending Scroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, Waterbending Scroll. 1 and a blue for an artifact. 6 and tap, draw a card. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each island you control.
Oh, so it's just tap.
Yeah, it's just tap, draw a card. Yeah, it's just tap, draw a card. In mono blue, this color is unbelievably hard.
Yeah, you could probably even get away with 2 color if you
2
wanted.
color, yeah.
Yeah.
I know if I'm building like Demir or like any sort of like blue X, any sort of color, like especially in the Simic, where you're encouraged to run more basics.
Yeah.
You know, Waterbending Scroll really does come in handy because even if you're like, you know, 2 and tap, draw a card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Not
That's
bad.
not bad. Not great, but not bad. Like 1 and tap, draw a card. That's good. And then just tap, draw a card. Especially if you're running like things that untap artifacts, like Unwinding Clock and stuff like that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I particularly like this in like UA and waterbending commanders because like until it's actually worth it to tap,
You can tap it to Waterbend.
you can waterbend. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
or in your blue-based artifact decks, it could be used to improvise something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
War of Invention.
Yeah, War of Invention, any of your cute little tchotchke decks that care about like artifacts that don't really do anything that you sacrifice for extra value. It's nice.
That's cool.
Waterbending Scroll.
Yeah, and I like that it doesn't say basic island. It's any
No,
island,
for each
yeah.
island you control. So even if you're a degenerate 5-color deck, you can eventually get this down.
Yeah, just searching up.
Yeah, eventually you'll get there. Eventually you'll get there. The next card I'm going to be talking about is the Mechanist Aerial Artisan. 2 and a blue for a 1/3 human artificer ally, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a clue token. Tap. Until end of turn, target artifact token you control becomes a 3/1 construct artifact creature with flying.
Ooh.
It's another in the long line of Murmuring Mystics. This one creates an artifact which, for
Card advantage.
a lot of decks, is better than in artifact decks. This is a lot better than a Murmuring Mystic. You know what I mean? Because
That's a good
it's a
point.
free artifact spitter. You know what I mean? It's like a Psy.
You know what I would run this over?
What?
Crumb Host Seed Shark.
Yeah, honestly.
I like this a little bit better.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you're not caring about the tokens and you just care about the artifacts, this creates artifacts that have a purpose past just flipping into a big beater.
Yeah.
It creates something that could draw you a card, you know? It's,
I like it.
And it's just like, you know, spell slingers need it too, to like refuel, you know? And I don't think you're ever tapping it to create a 3/1 construct with flying, but, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to make a blocker.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Sometimes you gotta make a
can
flying blocker.
gotcha somebody.
Yeah, with a flying blocker, especially as a 3/1 blocks and attacks well. So yeah, it's just very simple. It helps with waterbending. That's my theme, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know. And subconsciously,
You
I guess,
are
I
on blue and water
waterbending. Yeah, blue and waterbending. Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
that goes with the next card I'm talking about too. Jesus, I talk about a lot of blue water. I mean, I guess waterbending is my favorite mechanic from the set, so it would make a lot of sense. All right, well, next card I'm going to be talking about is one that I didn't think I would like as much as I did, but as soon as I started playing,
Oh my gosh.
as
Wait a
soon as I
second.
started playing it, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm going to talk about Hama the Bloodbender. So 2 and 3 Demir hybrid for a 3/3 legendary creature human warlock. When Hama enters, target opponent mills 3 cards. The Ryan neurons are firing.
Mill.
Yeah, mill 3 cards, and then exile up to 1 non-creature, a non-land card from that player's graveyard. For as long as you control Hama, you may cast the exiled card during your turn by waterbending X, rather than pay this, the mana cost, where X is the mana value. So it's it's a 5-mana 3/3 that's an uncommon that mills someone for 3, and then you can pick a non-creature, non-land, and then cast it for free if you waterbend equal to its mana cost.
Yeah, I do like that what you pick isn't restricted to the mill, right?
No, yeah,
so you can pick anything.
That's
in
why I
regard.
was like, huh. And I built this deck. It's just a mill deck featuring a Hama, the Bloodbender. I put in cute little blink cards, but it's definitely not the leader of your mill deck or waterbending deck. It definitely is a cute include of your mill deck. But it can be strong because it is just like your commander enables its strategy of mill, and if it's like turn 12 and everyone has a stacked up graveyard, you could just play this, use your artifacts that you've been accumulating, like I don't know, maybe like Mindcrank or something, and then just like use all of your little leftover creatures to just play like a 3, 4, 5 drop for free.
Yeah, I hardly looked at this card, but playing it in our gameplay was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's very
Watching you
very
play it.
cute. It's like the perfect bracket 2 mill deck where you're not trying to combo mill anyone out. You're not trying to brewlock anyone into the dirt.
Yeah.
You're just trying to like get the graveyards about the same size as their deck, and then trying to cast whatever you can.
Yeah, and having some fun doing it.
Yeah, and trying to get there along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's about all I have to bring to the table for today.
Heck yeah, sounds good. Well, let's get all the boys in here and see
Yeah.
what we think.
Do I get firebended away, or what happens to me now?
I'll firebend
Enter bloodbending me away.
And that's everybody. So,
We're here.
these were our roughly 28 cards that we are most excited for.
Emphasis
Atla.
on roughly.
Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Who's counting?
So what are your overall thoughts, boys? Are you excited for Atla?
Oh, I'm stoked.
I love this set.
Yeah, it's
so
super cool.
much.
It's very cool being an ambassador for a set too.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Big props to Watsy for that one.
Thank you so much, Wizards of the Coast.
Let's go round robin real quick. Favorite card of the set? Alex.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many cards I
There
enjoy.
really are.
Otter penguins.
Otter Penguin.
Otter penguins.
What about you, Ryan?
Hama the Bloodbender.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
What is my favorite
Super
card?
Ryan card.
Yeah.
I'd say my favorite card is probably Toph the Metalbender.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty
Fair,
sick card.
fair.
That one's pretty cool.
I like Wan Shi Tong, All-Knowing. That one's really
Nice.
grown on me. The more I look at the set and I like think about that one, I'm like, this card's really
Alt
sick.
art's pretty good too.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what about most powerful card? What do you think is going to be the biggest, most powerful splash in Commander?
I don't believe we talked about it. I think Katara's reversal is cracked.
Oh, interesting.
Katara's reversal is insane. You're telling me I can counter up to 4 spells or untap up to 4 artifacts?
True. Yeah.
I'm speaking Ryan's language.
Oh yeah.
He's excited. What about you, Ryan? What do you think?
Badger Mole Cub.
Interesting.
Yeah, metal
that
bends,
one's
and then if you tap a creature for mana, it adds an extra green. It's like one of those cards where it's not impactful, but it definitely is be included in commander decks for the rest of time.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably Toph again. I really think that card's strong.
No, that card is crazy.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's going to be one of the most built commanders, one of the strongest commanders coming out of the set. Walls bossing.
That's 8 mana, Chief.
No. I think it does a good job at not being like overpowered, but fun and focused.
Yeah, absolutely.
Walls of Bossing Say may not be the strongest, but they're definitely the toughest.
Yes.
True, true.
Yes.
I think, honestly, and I don't think we talked about this card either, but the card I think will spike the most, like long-term, is Waterbender's Restoration.
I did look at that
I think
card a
that
lot.
card is crazy.
Yeah.
And like it's just generically good in any blue deck. It's like blue big mana payoff, and it's like who doesn't want to include that once it's out there?
Exactly. What I thought was kind of interesting over talking to you boys is that you had an affinity for firebending, you had waterbending, you had airbending, and I particularly love the earthbending. So
It's true.
What an interesting development.
Wow.
But thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Watsy.
Oh, absolutely.
We hope to see you next time, and we
out
hope
our
every
Discord.
hand is a snap keep. See
Bye.
ya.